Just gonna chill here for a second until people are able to join us. But today we're gonna be talking to Diane Gutierrez, who is a CSUN alumni and a mental health advocate. So just as soon as Diane joins us, then we will introduce her to all of you.
Hi. Hi, Ali. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
So for everyone who's just now joining us, Diane is a CSUN alumni and she's a mental health advocate. So today we'll just be talking a little bit about her and the work that she does in the mental health community. So if you could just introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us what you've been up to recently, that would be great.
Yes. Well, my name is Diane. Thank you to NAMI for having me, for inviting me to have this talking. Yes, I'm 36 years old. I just recently graduated from CSUN. I'm class 2020, Go Matadors. And right now I'm working at a prototype company and I'm taking a break. I'm pursuing my master's, but right now I'm taking a break from that. But yeah, it's something that I probably in the future I will do.
Yeah, congrats on graduating. I was also a 2020 graduate, so
Oh, thank you. Yay, class of 2020.
So can you just share a little bit of sort of your personal story, what's brought you towards caring about mental health awareness, and if you could include some of the work that you've done at CSUN and describing that to us, that would be awesome.
Yes, my history is kind of interesting. I have a lot of family members who are dealing with mental health problems. I grew up with family members that they were dealing with depression, with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. And this was back in the 80s and 90s. And back then it wasn't a lot of information about it. Me and my relatives, we never received any treatment. Um, Something that I want people to know that the person who's dealing with a mental health, they're suffering, but the family suffer as well because there's not enough information about it, and you don't know how to help them. So yeah, I mean, it was a very difficult time for me and my relatives. And the other time that I had an experience related with mental health, it was when I was in high school. We have a field trip at a mental health facility. And I remember my classmates, they were making fun of some of the interns at that facility. They were calling them crazy, they're locos, retarded. So I feel bad because I had experienced that. Like I have family members who were dealing with those problems. So I decided to advocate for them to learn more about mental health, to understand more about the problem, because this is a society problem rather than a cultural problem as well. So when I was part of CSUN, I decided to join the Blues Project, which is a peer educator program who advocates for suicide prevention and depression. And what we did, it was we were providing speeches in classes for the students and gave them information about how important is mental health, how can you reach to someone if you are feeling suicidal, how to deal with depression, and to look for help. Like really is something that is out there. Like mental health, it does exist, and we can make a change, you know. And that's what I did when I was part of CSUN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just sort of diving in a little bit more into sort of, can you discuss a bit about how you see the impact of different cultures on mental health? If you feel comfortable speaking to your own experiences, that would be amazing.
Yeah. When I was part of the Blues Projects, one thing that I realized it was that most of my peer educators, we came from different cultural backgrounds, and all of us we shared the same thing, the same problem in our culture, that nobody speaks about mental health. Is that elephant in the room that is so uncomfortable to talk about, that none in our families tell us what to do, you know, how to deal with it, how to help someone who's dealing with these issues. So I find it interesting that we have all that in common, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is that I'm coming from a Mexican family. I was born here, but I was raised in Mexico. So most of my life, I'm a Mexican. So when I came here, I didn't speak any English. So I understand those individuals who are struggling to learn other language. English is a very complex language. So I start from the bottom. I start from ESL from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm here with a bachelor degree talking about mental health in English.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of that. So yeah, I mean, it's very cultural, you know, in my culture, especially Latino culture. We are afraid to speak from a lot of things, but mental health is one of them. It's very private, it's so cultural, and it's not about like my other friends from these talks, they say the échale ganas, you can do it. It's not about that. It's about to reach for help, because mental health is not a feeling, it's an illness.
Mm-hmm. So how would you approach opening a conversation about mental health with parents or family or friends who maybe aren't very well versed in these topics, or whose culture surrounding these topics makes it difficult for them to talk about mental health?
Well, I will say that when you don't feel good with yourself, when you have any type of pain in your body, like a stomach ache, headache, an arm, like you go and see a doctor because you're not feeling well. So why we don't do the same with our mental health? Like our brain is an organ from our body, is as much important as any other part of our body. Why we don't take care of mental health? Because it's part of us, it's what we are. So we have to be good from here to be good from our whole body, you know. And that's what I most say to most of my friends and family, that we have to take care of our minds and our feelings and acknowledge and validate how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than that, if you don't help yourself, how come you're gonna help others? So it's all begin with from us. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, why do you think it is that we treat mental health and having mental illness differently than we treat, having a physical illness or a physical injury?
Because it's still a taboo. It's a topic that is uncomfortable for some people. They think that it's all about, like I said before, about feelings. It's about emotions, but they don't realize that research shows that it's a chemical imbalance in your brain, and they don't know this information. A lot of individuals, they are misinformed. And yeah, I don't think, especially right now with this whole pandemic, I notice a lot of people dealing with depression, and it's okay. It's okay to feel depressed. What is not okay if that depression lasts for more than 2 weeks, is when you have to seek for treatment. But a lot of people, they don't know, because that information is not out there and the resources.
Exactly. So speaking of the pandemic, how do you feel like the pandemic has impacted your mental health and those around you?
I'm not gonna lie. Most people who know me, they know that I'm the light of the party or the ray of sunshine. But last week I had a nervous breakdown, is what it calls. I have no panic attack. I had a panic attack. I never experienced it. It's horrible. And I went to urgent care. I even thought I had the virus. I went to get tested. Obviously, it came out negative. But I called my primary doctor. Okay, so I'm like, I'm an advocate for mental health. So I should take care of my mental health, right? How come I'm not taking care of myself? So I called my primary doctor, and he said, I think you had a panic attack. So he asked me, would you be willing to take antidepressants? So I get offended, because I'm like, how come, if I'm so happy and I'm always positive, how come I'm going to take antidepressants? And he's like, no, it doesn't mean that you are depressed. It's something that it can have a boost on your brain and help you. I'm like, you know what? Yes, because if I'm advocating for mental health, I should take care of my own mental health. So right now I'm in that process, and I'm probably will taking pills, but it's gonna help me. So yeah, it's like baby steps. And around my family, I noticed, I mean, it's been already 5 months. This is, I think tomorrow we're starting the 5th month
Yeah.
from this pandemic. It's been very difficult. We're hanging there. We are trying to adapt to this new normal, but it's taking time. It's something that is going to take time, but we have to stay positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, my family, I'm very lucky because I have a very united family. So we support each other and we take care of ourselves, wearing the mask, keeping our distance. That's the best that we can do.
Yeah.
For our loved ones and for our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing so much with all
Thank you, Ali.
comments that they really appreciate that and really understand
Thank you.
on that. So other than sort of like new steps that you're taking to take care of your mental health, what are some other ways that you have been practicing self-care and just sort of taking care of your mental health during the pandemic?
Yeah. What I do, I like hiking. I love nature. I love everything green. I like to listen to music to relax, especially like yoga music.
Yeah.
I'm taking mindfulness classes. I like mindfulness. Those who are not familiar with mindfulness is when you are aware of your surroundings, the here and now, and it's very helpful. Breathing exercises. I totally recommend this breathing exercise that I'm been practicing lately, which is called the square breath, which is like you have to take breaths, and like every 4 seconds you breathe, you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you let it out 4 times, and it is very helpful. It helped me a lot. And also, I have my group of friends, most of them from Blues, and I see some of them. Hi. So we have our Zoom meetings once a week sometimes. So we have our girl tag. It is very helpful. And we are thinking to create a new group, which is maybe called Cafecito con Pan. And we are trying to talk about, like problems that are happening right now, especially mental health related. So we are planning to create a group and, just hang in there, exercise. Yeah.
Are you planning on continuing to be involved in things like the Blues Project, or just sort of other mental health awareness organizations? Like I know now, like in the same way, like having graduated, it's a little getting used to things. So like, how do you see in the future, like continuing to get involved?
Well, I would love to still be part of the Blues Project. I don't know if I'm allowed because I'm not longer at season, but I definitely keep supporting the Blues Projects or any organization mental health related, NAMI being one of them. Also, the Trevor Project, which is the one who advocates for LGBTQ community as well. I'm trying to get an internship to this organization that is called Mental Health America. So yeah, I mean, I will keep working on mental health as much as I can and share my knowledge and be up there supporting and provide whatever I can provide for them.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess, do we have any questions from the audience? I'll see if I can check that. We have one, if I can find it. Ooh, what's happening? Oh, I got it.
You disappear.
I turned my camera around. Sorry, my bad. So Krista asks, what advice do you have for people who are experiencing anxiety or depression for the first time?
Well, me personally, I'm an individual who are living with anxiety my whole life. So what I recommend to you is take time for yourself. If you feel that you cannot deal with your anxiety or your depression, go seek help. Because it's not, like I said before, it's not about a feeling, it's about an illness. And anxiety is normal at a certain point is normal, but if it continues for more than 2 weeks, it is not. So seek help, seek therapy. I was seeking for therapy. In fact, I was having I had an appointment with a specialist before COVID. So I was taking therapy, but COVID happened. But definitely just take day by day, and if you feel that you need help, do it when you are right. When what Jasmine says last Monday, that seek help when you feel that is the right moment for you.
Yeah, that's really important. Um, Someone asked what made you want to advocate for mental health. I think we covered this a little bit at the beginning, but for people who joined late, could you just do like really short, little brief recap?
Yes, of course. I have a lot of family members who are dealing with mental health disorders, mostly bipolar disorder, depression, and schizophrenia. So I was familiar with the topic, and I decided to advocate for them and learn more about what creates someone to have a mental health, what is the cure, how can I help. Yeah, pretty much for family experiences.
Yeah. See if there's any other questions. Got another one. Oh, we have a few more. We have one from Yasmin. It says, "How do you feel sharing everything in this space?"
Well, to be honest, well, at the beginning, nervous. I think it's noticeable, but I feel good. It's been good to share my experience to others, and hopefully, my experience help them to going through and let them know that it's normal. It's okay not to be okay. We are human beings, and we have to learn through life, and we have to be allowed to talk about these things because having a mental health is nothing to be embarrassed. I mean, it's like any other illness in our life. So thank you for the space. Thank you for allowing me to share my personal experiences, and hopefully, yeah, my information can help others. My story help other individuals.
Yeah, well, we're definitely glad that you feel comfortable and good sharing here, so that's really great. We have another question. Are there any specific songs that really motivate you?
Yes, most of them are in Spanish. For those Spanish speakers, Vicente Fernandez, they know who I'm talking about. But in English, I love this was the first song that I learned. And when I was learning English, this was the first song that I learned the whole song. And I was so proud singing in English finally. It, it's the one, it's called In the End by Linkin Park. I love the lyrics. I love the music. I love the video. So yeah, that's my got to go song, because in the end, that what the song says, like in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
So whatever you do in life, do it good, do the best that you can, and support others, because there's people who are looking after you, and you are looking out from other people.
yeah. Uh,
Yes.
we have another question. It's what was one of the most memorable experiences that you had at Blues?
The Beat the Blues Week. It was is this event, and at season is a whole week where they have different workshops and activities and presentations regardless mental health. And last year the topic was holding into hope, which right now is very helpful because this
Yeah,
whole pandemic. So yeah, I mean, we are all holding into hope, and it was very fun to create this activity, create this whole week of events regarding mental health and advocate, and also the free hugs. We were providing free hugs
that's,
at season with our pamphlet, like, hey, free hugs, free hugs. It was so much fun. I miss those days, but when we were allowed to
yeah,
touch each other, now it's like it's gonna happen again. It's gonna be 6 feet apart, like, hey, high five, free hug, high five, yes. But I mean, we make so many students smile that they made my day. I mean, as long as we make them smile, it was like a plus.
yeah,
So yeah.
definitely. We have another one from Krista. She asked, "What was one of the biggest lessons you have learned through advocacy?"
Well, I think it's the individuals that I've been knowing throughout my journey that they share the same experience as me or similar experiences. They share the same passion as me, and that we all are capable to provide these tools to others, that they are not that aware of what's going on related to mental health. And yeah, it was the experience that I shared with them mostly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we have one more, which is how can families help those with a mental illness?
I think support, family support. If you have family members who can help you, who can provide you support, or friends, or anyone that you feel comfortable to sharing with, that's the most important thing. Like if you don't have that connection, it's a little bit more difficult. But I do believe family support, because I mean, my personal experience, yeah, we are a very united family because everything that we were dealing before.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Yeah, I would also recommend NAMI's resources. Just a little shout out for us. We definitely.
Oh, of course, NAMI,
Um,
the Trevor Project,
yeah,
the suicide prevention line, the helpline. Yeah, there's some, like right now, in the 2020, there's so many resources, especially right now with this whole pandemic. But yeah, there are so many places that you can reach out. But NAMI, of course, is number one.
thank you. And we have another one from Yasmin. Could you share a message that you would have for your future self?
I will say, you did it. You did it, and keep doing it. Don't stop.
That's a good one.
Yeah, be the best that you can, and yeah, whatever you can do for other, yeah, is welcome.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to share with any of us?
Yes, but I wrote it down because I knew that I probably forget. Okay, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wrote, I have to unlearn what I learned regarding about mental health. I am aware that I have to normalize it. I aware that I have to stop feeling embarrassed about something that is part of our human nature, because we are perfectly imperfect. And that's where it reminds us that we are just human beings who are allowed to make mistakes, and validate our emotions. Validate when we feel sad, validate when we feel angry, validate when we are happy, because at the end we can find peace. We can find peace in ourselves. And also, this is this phrase that we always used to say at Blues, once again, that it's okay not to be okay. And what it kills someone is not the mental health, it's the stigma. So we have to be open to talk about these issues. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. This has been really, really great.
Thank you, Ali.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone who came. We'll see you all later. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.